And welcome in, friends, to Outrun the Fog, Season 0, where we will be having a Master versus Sacred. Master coming in on Killer first, specifically that Cenobite, the good old Elliot killer. We will be having Marco on the Pinhead, and we'll be immediately trying to look for that box spawn and try to get that early game started as fast as possible. And no signing of that box just yet, but I think we might be closing in on it as Marco actually will not be finding it just yet. We will be finding a survivor, and that will be Nia, named Emo Kid. And also, welcome in Sacred to Outrun the Fog. But we will be taking this chase with Emo Kid very first thing, and this will be. Ooh. The box being solved, and it looks like Marco will opt to automatically teleport to it, as we'll have Mancer kind of close and kind of inactive gens, and this is where Marco would love to be chasing right now. And looks like we won't be getting a hit just yet, but Marco landing these chains, but not quite finding the connection until now, and that will be that sloppy butcher being applied on to Mancer. It looks like we'll be getting the down here as that slow vault might. Nope, no tasting today. As that slow vault will not allow Mansu to get hit just yet, but this chain will. So this will be a quick and early down as well as a really early hook. And I'm assuming we're gonna be hooking in the middle of the map. No, actually, maybe yes, Marco. We're making up our mind. We will be trying to find a painless hook to hook Mancer onto, and possibly just end up camping this to death, camping this at least second stage. Or maybe we do realize that we won't have too much pressure or too much map pressure sitting there, so we are gonna opt to kind of spread our pressure around, and that will be Adam getting spotted, but not getting the chain applied, but that will end up forcing him off the gen for at least a little while. Right now, we will have Marco opting to. Ooh, wow, is that a chain hit? Nice. We will be having Marco opt to apply this cross map pressure with the chains at this very moment, and Marco will be looking around trying to see if there's any survivors. Actually, he's trying to stealth around for the save and just get the chains onto them, but nobody being spotted yet. So we will end up just kind of throwing these chains around and making sure that no one is going to be able to cross for free and work on these generators. That being said, we will end up seeing that second stage being applied, but that will be two generators popping off, and this will be Marco opting to leave this hook, and this will it looks like that second stage. We will see the box being picked up by our Lori, and I don't ask me how to say that name, but it will be our Lori. And we do hear where the Lori is right now. It's trying to solve the box right next to where the hook is, and that is a very risky decision as the tag will come in, and it looks like we will have that sloppy butcher being applied, but nothing just yet. And this will be the trade on for Mancer in exchange for Emo Kid being put on the floor. And a really nice dodge from Mancer will allow Marco to at least have 3 survivors injured, but no tunnel being secured just yet. And that will be a second. Oh, that will be a second person on this hook, and that will be the second usage of that pain resonance. And the original pain coming in, possibly with the impaling wire, we will end up seeing Mancer getting seeked out for this tunnel out and securing the 3v1 as early as possible, and possibly at 3 gens remaining, maybe at 2. But we will see what happens as we will have Mancer running towards the water tower and tries to get as loop as much as possible, but that chain doing such a good job will be able to slow down Mancer just long enough to be able to secure this down and the tunnel out, which will make this a 3v1 at 3 gens remaining. Very, very good job from Marco, as we will have 2 survivors still injured with that sloppy butcher. This actually could be a very stressful situation. And we actually will see the reset coming off onto our Lori, so I'm assuming they're going to be resetting somewhere that's gonna be a little bit more inconvenient for Marco to go into in a chain, trying to go into main building, but that collision not gonna be doing too much for him right now, as that chain will get stopped inside main building. But we'll see some scratch marks coming into main building, and looks like we will be going for like the longest moonwalk in history, longer than anything Michael Jackson's ever done, and this will be the chase being taken onto Emo Kid, who is our only injured survivor right now. And I don't think this is what you want if you are the side of from the side of Sacred, as that will be a down onto Emo Kid. It looks like we will be securing a hook on the same hook that we actually used on very first part of the game. So that will be a pain res, but that will not be used as other pain res, as Emo Kid was hooked on it before. And we'll have to see if we can actually keep some pressure going, as we do see this box being solved away from our active gen. So teleporting to it could actually end up not only giving away the gen, but also giving away this hook as well. So we'll have Marco up in place just a lot more patiently, and possibly just securing the death on Emo Kid and securing this 2v1 at 2 gens remaining. Right now, we will be securing this death onto Emo Kid. And that will be a save, but that'll also be the second tag on to our Lori. And it looks like we will be seeking out Emo Kid for this tunnel out. And right now, with right now with this tunnel out, we will be actually, we're not even gonna commit for a tunnel out. We actually are gonna take this chase with Lori and possibly use our third token of that pain resonance, as we'll be having the box being solved by Emo Kid off in the distance. And there is no DS in place, so this actually could be a little risky, especially considering Emo Kid is currently in the deep wound state. So regardless of the fact, they will be easily found and easily downable, very much submissive and breedable, if I may say. When they do get found, especially considering they won't be able to get reset, and that will be Emo Kid getting found out and actually down at the pallet while they were trying to camp it. But Marco actually going for a really courageous swing will end up finding that connection. And right now, we will have one man standing in. That is, you have no chance. That Firecracker will come in and trying to blind Marco, but will not quite get that, not quite get it, as Marco will still have full visibility of our Atom and will be in full pursuit. And this looks like it will be securing the 4K at one generator remaining. Ooh, but no pocos for you, buddy. We will be getting that window vault and being able to secure a tag on to our Atom, but looks like we will have our Lori taking the chase once again to make sure that they cannot pick up the Emo Kid, who is currently slugged on the floor. With Marco knowing this, we will end up securing the death hook on to our Nia, and that will be securing the 2v1 at 1 gen remaining. But both survivors being injured and no med kit in play, the only thing that we could possibly see is a possible solidarity play coming in. That's the best that they can do. So with that, we will be looking for our last 2 survivors and making sure that we can possibly find out what's going on. It looks like we actually do hear our Atom, but not quite sure on where our Atom is right now. But we will be taking this chase with our Atom, and this will end up securing not only a slug, but also the last man standing, which will be Lori. And since our Cenobite does not have any end game, we will be picking up this box to figure out the location of both survivors. One of them being on main building, that will be a Lori, and our Cenobite Marco will be will be aware of this and being able to secure this down. Looks like we'll be hooking to secure that last stack of pain res just in case main had significant amount of progress, but that looks like it will not be the case as we will be securing this last fresh hook, this last pain res, and making sure that we can find out where our Lori is, and that will be the box being grabbed. So if we do know, if we were able to follow the box logic, we will know that Lori is gonna be somewhere close to where Marco is right now, but not quite gonna be a main building. So it will be a little bit of a road to follow as we will be trying to see where our Lori could be. And Marco, pretty confident they'll be able to stably secure this 4K at one. We will just kind of be looking around, taking a good fucking while to find out um where this Lori is. Oh, Lori actually stealthing around Water Tower. I think Marco might have an idea that Lori's somewhere on this side of the map because there is no sighting of her right now, but not quite sure where on bottom she could be. As we will be ch checking over these buildings, try to see if we're gonna be stealthing for this unhook, but that looks like it may not be the case. As we will just opt to just start closing this hatch. And with this hatch closing, we will end up forcing Lori into one of these two gates. And actually, I'm wondering, does Lori have adrenaline? Is there even adrenaline in play? I forgot. No, she doesn't, so she's just screwed. I don't know what to tell you, but we will be closing this hatch. And just being able to catch Lori out at either of these gates will end up being a really big play for the side of Master, and that will be securing the 4K at one generator remaining. Ooh. And both gates are on the same side. This is actually very unfortunate for our Lori. And eventually we will have Marco opting to check these gates. And depending on which way he attacks this from, we will be able to spot out our Lori while she's opening the door. But it looks like we're just gonna hold this midpoint between both doors. And the second that Marco does see a light, it looks like we wait, did you see that? Marco, did you see that? Yeah, Lori peeked out for just a second, and this looks like it will be enough time for Marco to find her and not quite get the chain just yet, but this will be the chase being taken with this Lori, and it looks like it will be a 4K at one generator remaining for the side of Master, which means the win con for Sacred has to be a 4K and two gens remaining, and the pallet grab coming in. This will secure a really strong presence from the side of Marco. Okay, yeah, Marco too, but Master going into this next set. And next up, we'll have Jukebox DVD on the casting. Well, I'm going to be doing sleepy boy things, so we'll see you after a little break.
All right, welcome into round 2 of the first set. We've got Sacred killing versus Master Manzer on the Cenobite. Needs to match a 4K1 result for the tie or a 4K2 for the win, which is honestly a pretty steep win condition considering the set. But I have seen it happen before. I've seen 4K1s, I've seen 4K2s. Cenobite, not a bad killer, and honestly, you're just one mistake away on the survivor side from a massive snowball. So we'll see how Manzer plays this out. Maybe he can clutch it up. Let's find out. He's got first chase happening on main. He'll probably drop that after breaking both doors. He can come back to that later. Trying to interrupt box with chain. I don't know if he'll quite reach that, but reaching that could be pretty massive here. He interrupts it before the box is solved, and he's heading over towards water tower now. First chase happening at water tower. First hit can happen very quickly here. Still trying to solve box mid chase. I think he's just trying to take aggro right now. While teammates work gens, as you can see, the chase is happening on the corrupted side, which is exactly where you want it to be. To try to get gens in. The insta-vault coming in. Doesn't vault back. Excellent play there from Sir. Now leaving the water tower without getting hit, which is extremely, extremely important in this situation. Running to a pretty safe tile with this pallet now. Good setup on the bottom side. Doesn't quite get the hit. Fakes the pallet a little bit. Fakes pallet again. It looks like hit will come by this time. Yep, goes by. He's going to make his way to Shack instead of running straight to main, since Shack is much easier to make from this situation. Doesn't land the chain. That's going to give Ace even more distance here. I don't think Manzer's going to give up here. I think he wants this box to get that early pressure. He kind of needs it, but with this pallet break, I think Sir's going to be able to make it to main, and that's going to have to be chase dropped. He's going to be taking chase onto the Nia now over here in this very, very unsafe pallet, but the stun comes through and they're not able to get the tag. Nia doing a great job taking distance here. Marco on this pallet, playing it very patiently, waiting to drop it, and running around it, holding W, completely mixing Manzer up and going to another pallet, pre-dropping it, taking even more distance, and no hit coming in quite yet in the most unsafe part of the map. Marco still running around this wagon. Oh, Manzer not able to get that chain, a little bit overextended on it. The double vault and does not get the hit either. Marco playing this pallet insanely well. There's the pallet break, which zones Marco towards the main building, which Manzer decides not to chase. Kicks Gallows, applies that eruption onto it, and is going to make his way over to the corner of the map over here, where he is going to find Pedro. Again, pre-dropping the pallet, playing it as safe as possible. Lands the chain, and this could be a hit. There's the hit. Again, zone towards main, but Pedro running towards Shack first, since he won't be able to make main with that hit. He might need a hit take from a teammate if he wants to make it to the main building, and if they're feeling confident, they might not, but here it comes. Drago coming in for the hit take, trying to make sure that Pedro can make it towards the main building with this hit. Now both are completely safe, and it looks like Manzer's going to drop. Does not want to take any chases at the main building, which could hurt him in the long run, since eventually you're going to have to commit to a chase. Over here, finding Sir. So running to the corner of the map. If he gets hit here, he can also make main, and I wonder, will Manzer commit to this one since he has enough injuries? Although it looks like Sir opting to play the pallet instead, but gets completely faked out by a fake chain placement. Actually, excellent play there from Manzer, getting the hit now, as Sir takes it to the main building. Hopefully not interrupting any resets or anything like that. Looks like Manzer's going for a bit of a mind game, coming around the side balcony over here, trying to cut him off, although it looks like he was not caught off guard, holding W instead, playing those angles. Manzer gonna drop chase once again, and that's gonna be Gallows pop now. 2 generators popped, 4 no hooks, but Manzer does have a few injuries with Sloppy Butcher on the board, meaning that it's gonna take some time to relieve the pressure, and it looks like instead of resetting, they opted to just pressure the gens as quickly as possible, playing super aggressively here, which could cost them in the long run, as this could potentially be the first down of the game right here at Water Tower. Manzer faking the break. He just needs one really good chain landed here in order to get this down. Insta-vault coming in. Could not read that properly. Running up to the tile, same pathing that we saw earlier. Does not look like he's going to quite make it to the pallet, though, so this should be the first down, and hopefully for Manzer, the first hook of the game. Looking away, make sure there's no flashlight or firecracker saves coming in. He's got a nice hook right here. It does happen to be a scourge hook, which is very lucky. Another pallet break on this side of the map. Resources are starting to disappear quickly, but again, they always have that main building they can run to. Once again, applying Eruption to this gen. Manzer has a bit of a 3-gen around the hook right now. If he could try to play that out, maybe play for the 4K1 tie here, although there is already some pressure on this middle gen, and it would be very easy to harass this gen and the hook at the same time, so Manzer can have a hard time holding this, but we'll have to see what he decides to do there. Drago solving the box towards main, maybe trying to bait him to teleport over so that they can get the pull, but Manzer knows better. He's going to stay by hook and make sure that no one can come in and get the save. It took him so long to get that he really needs to secure some decent stage here. Another pallet breaking on the side of the map. The 3-gen resources are fleeting now. Pedro, a little bit more than halfway to second stage here. Another generator pops. It looks like they're opting to just pop all gens outside of the 3 gen. They're going to pressure it now as a team. If they're able to pull Pedro, they can pressure the 3 gen while Pedro has his chase if he can get a hit to make main, and that could potentially be enough time to pop the last couple of gens. Wouldn't be surprised if they let Pedro hang for a little while here to get some gen pressure. It looks like Marco trying to take some attention away. Someone might be sneaking around for the save now. Looks like they're starting to pressure this bottom gen now. Manzer has to decide what he wants to do here. He has multiple gens being pressured and a hook right in the middle of them, although hook timer is starting to go down. I wonder if Manzer should secure this to death, maybe, with there not being enough gen pressure on the 3 gen, although that could have been enough time to maybe... No, I think they might actually let Pedro die on hook. It looks like they just want to pop this 3 gen, which honestly is very understandable in the current situation. With the win condition like this, you can afford to play pretty aggressively, although I stand corrected. It looks like they're coming in for a double save. Manzer missing the chain long range too, so it's going to waste even more time. Someone comes in, misses the swing. Going to be tunneling Pedro now. No original pain on that, so actually gave the hit to Pedro that he needed to make main. So that's going to be most of Manzer's pressure gone now. He has to commit to something here, and it looks like he's going to drop Pedro since Pedro makes main. Checking this gen, though, I wouldn't be surprised if it finished soon. There it is. There's the pop. He doesn't make it in time. And they're trying to mind game around this tile. He has to be careful, though. That bottom gen did have progress and could very easily be worked on right now. Chain Hunt's going to be active pretty soon, but I don't think it's going to be enough pressure to stop them. With only 2 stages at 1 gen here, Master's in a very, very good position to try to pop this last gen and secure that win condition. Manzer needs a fast chase and a Scourge Hook in order to have any recovery from this. Interrupting Marco on the gen. Does not land the chain. Applying Eruption to this gen that looks like it's about to pop maybe 90% here. With both of the injured players being nowhere to be found, probably healing at the main building. Manzer not in a great spot here. Needs to find that fast down, although it looks like right now he's just trying to keep them away from the gen, hopefully trying to regress it a little bit. With no Call of Brian, it's going to take extra long for that gen to regress, and I don't think it's really going to lose much progress. Very, very excellent greed there from Sir. Taking a bit of distance, although it doesn't look like it's going to allow him to avoid that hit, but he makes main building for free with that now. Manzer coming over here to Marco. Master will probably up to either full reset or just straight up aggressively triple the gen in the street, which I wouldn't be surprised at what's currently happening. Manzer, realizing that this might be a situation since there hasn't been any heals, comes over, and yep, that's going to be the generator popped with the adrenaline onto Marco. That's going to be the win condition secured for Master. We'll have to see how many outs they can get here. Can Manzer get any more stages before they get these escapes? No endgame perks in play since he was playing for his win condition, so... Master in a pretty prime spot to maybe potentially get a 4 out. Though it looks like they just want to play for a safer result here. Taking the down. Can they make it in time before the gate is open? Manzer on his way. Finds Drago over here with the gate not being open. It looks like the gate is over here is open, not the one towards the bottom side. And so with the missed chain, I don't know if Manzer's going to be able to make it. Marco can easily come in for a hit here and prevent him from getting out. They pick up Pedro as well, though. It looks like they're playing for more outs, although Drago going to go down since he could not make that without a hit take. That's going to be Sir forced out of the gate. Now, Manzer going to pick up. They could easily reset Pedro and get the double save here. This could still potentially be a 4 out for them, although it looks like they opted not to reset Pedro. Manzer coming in, trying to hook. Okay, I was going to say, he's trying to hook towards the middle, but I don't think he would have made that with the hit. So he's going to hook over towards the edge of the map here, but it's right near the gate. If Master's feeling greedy, they could reset and go for the double save here. It doesn't even look like they want to play greedy. It looks like they're just flat out going for it. Trading here. Pedro, since he is dead on hook and worth less points, trading for Drago, but an original pain here will prevent this from happening. That's going to be the double slug there. Master getting a little bit greedy for more outs here, and in the process giving him an extra stage. That's going to be a 2k6 for Manzer, 2k6 for Sacred here. Not able to meet that win condition that Marco put pressure on in the first round here, but an excellent recovery towards the end nonetheless. Well played from Master, securing that win condition. And yeah, Master just showing complete domination here in this set. I wonder how the next set will go. Maybe Sacred can pull something out of their back pocket and completely catch us off guard, but we'll have to see coming into the next set. Welcome into set number 2 of Master vs. Sacred. We have Sacred, you have no chance, excellent name, on the Ghostface here on Larry's. You see a pretty standard build, Corrupt, Sloppy, Eruption, and Pain Res. Decent regression along with the needed Sloppy and Corrupt. Right now, patrolling through the rooms, trying to catch someone off guard, an early tag or an early stock could be very, very helpful here. Every team plays Larry's a little bit differently, so I always love watching these sets to see what the teams are going to do. You already see some scratch marks running down over towards the bottom side of the map. A little bit of stock given. I think they've spotted the Ghostface now, which is when things get a little interesting. Survivors can now calm where the Ghostface is and potentially stop his rotations from getting too aggressive, not catch people off guard. Now, fun fact about this palette is you cannot actually break Ghostface out of stealth here, so I think this is going to be the first stock of the game fully exposed now. Ghostface committing to the chase, although a very early hit take coming in here, blocking the doorway. This is a lot of pressure for a Ghostface right at the start of the game without much gen pressure to go around. Although, looks like our Nia will probably be fine, able to make it to the library palette here. That's one god palette down, but there's still a few more to go. Nia can now make her way towards another god palette and just rotate from there, and she should be fine without needing to go down here, although she could get caught off guard at any moment, so she'll have to pay attention. It looks like you have no chance of going for a bit of a mind game here, but Nia holding her check spot. I don't know if she'll be able to make it around to the pallet, though, with that. Goes down under the pallet, and this could potentially be a very, very fast first hook if no one's here for the pallet save, which it doesn't look like they are. This is a very excellent start here for Sacred. First hook coming in of the game into Pain Res, so their gen pressure is going to be pretty lackluster right now, considering the slow start that they had. Finding a survivor here. Getting the hit, too. Making their way down the other side of the map. Applying that eruption on this gen. Might go back to hook here since they got the tag. The unhook is coming in swiftly, though. They do not want to give a chance for stages to be secured, especially at this point in the game. Looks like they were trying to heal. A bit of a miscomm there. Maybe getting some stock off now. You have no chance making his way over to this side of the map. Finding the injured Pedro over here. They've got 3 injuries on the board right now. Finding what looks like Drago as well. And Drago gonna go down here. That's gonna be another down here for Sacred at 5 generators. Dropping like flies and getting some pain res value in the process. The gen pressure is gonna be struggling right now. And Sacred looking like they're in a pretty prime position. They have to slow this down and reset, so it's almost like they're playing the start of the game with a couple of stages, which is not ideal if you're playing on the survivor side here. You have no chance, already able to get through the library palette, which is a very solid palette to get throughout the start. They've still got their god palette towards the bottom. They still got a decent palette in the mattress room, so their bottom side's still looking pretty solid if they can manage to play out the rest of the game well. It looks like you have no chance, able to cut off Pedro, get some decent stock on him. Pre-throwing the God Palette, securing that they can get that unhook, but that's going to be another resource gone. You have no chance, going to have to come around here and realizes that there's no opening on that side, has to... Oh, he's doing a standing still mind game, I see what he's doing. I don't think you're going to catch anyone off guard with that, though. He's going to have to break this God Palette. Still in stock before breaking, but they didn't break him out, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Looks like he's going to go for Pedro here. I think he'll just take this exposed down without the God Palette in place there. Pedro has to play this Exit Gate Palette. Pre-throwing it, which means that a Bloodlust could easily come in here. Is he going to Insta-Vault or fake? He's going to do the Insta-Vault. Very good check spots. Does not quite get around the loop here. You have no chance opting to just Bloodlust this, which is probably the right call, considering this is a very Bloodlustable palette, although there are the check spots on the side. Although it looks like losing the 50-50 there, not able to quite get away. That's going to be the 3rd hook of the game, but at least a generator did pop for this down. Drago needs to get reset. Every survivor currently not on hook. At a bit of stock here, but like a quarter each. Now they're